Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, aka the King of Boston, and today we're back for episode 18 of my Boston Red Sox franchise here on MLB 14 the show. And as we approach the trade deadline, one guy that has come up in a lot of Red Sox trade rumors over the last really couple of years has been Giancarlo Stanton. So if we did want to pull off such a major move, here are a couple packages we could throw at the Miami Marlins. Currently, we sit a few games out of the division lead. We're only 42-40, but the AL East is pretty weak this year, as it is in real life this year. So no surprise there. But yeah, the packages are Anthony Rendon and Mookie Betts, or Anthony Rendon, Will Middlebrooks, and Jose Iglesias. When I acquired Anthony Rendon from the Detroit Tigers for Edward Mujica and Junichi Tozawa, I had the idea all along that he was going to be sort of a temporary piece here. He's going to be an asset we were going to use to flip. He has a ton of trade value. And Giancarlo Stanton has been a guy that, like I said, has popped up in a lot of Red Sox trade rumors in recent years and makes a lot of sense. They need to develop some power. They don't have a lot, or they being the Red Sox, they do not have a lot in the outfield in terms of prospects coming up or in the pipeline or anything like that. So they fill a couple of needs there. But anyway, getting into the gameplay, we're taking on the New York Yankees. It is John Lackey versus the Yankees, a matchup that we saw happen last year. And if you guys remember last year, Lackey ran into some trouble in the first inning against the Yankees and ended up with a rough performance that evening at Fenway Park. So pretty much a duplicate start to this time around. Brendan Ryan gets on with the one-out double, and then Jacoby Ellsbury somehow pulls that outside. I believe that was either a fastball or a changeup, and somehow pulls that down the right field line, a little bloop base hit. Next up is Eric Chavez. Actually, it's two batters later, and this one heading toward the corner, but that's a nice running catch right there by Michael Kadire, and that will retire the side. So I'll touch on the Giancarlo Stanton trade thing here. Like I said, he fills a power bat need. Sort of a replacement for that David Ortiz spot in the lineup. We could fit him in the outfield with Kadire and Victorino, or I mean, speaking long term, Victorino expires after this year. Napoli expires as well, so that opens up a spot for Kadire at first base potentially. But depending on which package we throw at them, I mean, Mookie Betts, the reason I would be very okay with including him in that trade is he probably projects as a center fielder for us or some sort of outfielder, and the thing with that is we just might not need him if we end up getting Giancarlo Stanton, because if we do keep Kadire, who's under contract for next year, like, just not really too sure where we would have a place for Mookie Betts. So anyway, you can see John Lackey getting sort of screwed over on a couple calls right there, and now two guys are going to get on because of it, so the frustration mounting a little bit for John Lackey here as he had two pitches on the outer half, two right-handed batters that did not get called for strikes. I believe one of them was actually to Kelly Johnson, so would have been in the inner half for him. But now 2-on, next batter's going to fly out to center field. Nice running catch by Jackie Bradley Jr. He'll get it into the cutoff man. Now I throw home here with Rendon, just sort of throwing ahead of the runner, and that was a pretty foolish mistake because the runner from first is going to advance to second on the throw. So now second and third with one away, and here is the catcher. I believe that is Murphy, and he ends up striking out, a big strikeout right there for John Lackey. So now two away. Next batter's the leadoff man, Brett Gardner. Gardner's going to line this one to short, picked by Iglesias, who's getting the start today over Xander Bogaerts, and he will make the throw to first in time. That will retire the side. So still 1-0 Yankees through 1.5. Masahiro Tanaka on the mound for the Yankees today. He's going to give up a leadoff base hit to Mike Napoli here, hitting out of that 4-hole after a 1-2-3 first for Tanaka. Napoli gets things started here in the second. So that will put a man on first for our next batter, Daniel Nava, getting the start today. We had a couple subs in today. Figured we would try to get some of the replacement players in, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle past the diving glove of the second baseman right there for a base hit. So 2 men on with no men out here in the bottom of the second for Will Middlebrooks. 0-2 count. Middlebrooks pulls this one, picked by the third baseman to second for one on to first. Throw is high and over to Teixeira's head. I believe that's actually not Teixeira, it's someone else. Runner coming around to score, and Napoli was really slow on that play, but the offline throw allows him to score, so we catch a couple of breaks right there. Really should have been thrown out at home, but a run comes home and scores. One out man on second after Ryan Lavarnway, and he works a 5-pitch walk right there off of Masahiro Tanaka. So that will put runners on first and second with one out, and now Jose Iglesias up, two batters later, two away, hits this one to deep right center field. Outfielder on the move, and he will make the play, and that will retire the side. The Yankees surrender a run there and give up the lead. Now it is 1-1. Now 1-2 count. Eric Chavez, look at the beautiful curveball by John Lackey there. He started to settle in after that rough first inning, and he ended up getting having a pretty solid performance, as you will see. Dustin Pedroia, though, he's going to work a walk here on Masahiro Tanaka. This was an inning where we started to get to Tanaka a little bit in terms of raising his pitch count. Pedroia running on the play, he will get to second safely, so now it's going to put a man on second with one away here. Michael Kadire at the plate, he would be retired, so next batter is Mike Napoli, who lines this one to right center field for a base hit. That's going to get down all the way to the wall. Pedroia will score easily. Napoli looking for extra bases, he's got it, and it's an RBI double for Mike Napoli. Beautiful, beautiful hitting right there. Going the other way with it, slapping it into right center field, and that will drive in a run. So it's 2-1 Red Sox now. Daniel Nava up next. He shoots this one the other way, but left fielder's there. Brett Gardner will make the play, and that will retire the side, so the Yankees get out of it, but they surrender another run, and now the Red Sox have the lead 2-1. Top four. Here is, I believe, Kelly Johnson. He's going to take that curveball right there, setting up a 3-2 count. And next pitch, slider, hanging slider right there, catches the outer half of the plate. Lackey pretty ballsy there, throwing a 3-1 curveball and then a 3-2 slider, but he gets away with it. Now Sean Rodriguez up, he goes down, and yes, they gave Sean Rodriguez Derek Jeter's old number. I thought that was pretty funny, but that Rodriguez goes down on the breaking ball in the dirt for another strikeout for John Lackey. Now bottom of the fourth, 2-0 count to Jackie Bradley Jr. with 2 outs. Bradley hits this one to deep right field, and that will be over the right fielder's head. One hopping up off the wall. Bradley rounding 2. He's thinking 3 here, and he will be in there safely with a 2-out triple. So some 2-out magic here for the Red Sox potentially. Next batter will be Jose Iglesias, and now Iglesias will come up. Obviously, Iglesias formerly traded to the Detroit Tigers for Jake Peavy, but we got him back at the beginning of the year in the Anthony Rendon trade, thanks to the surplus of infield prospects that the Tigers did have. And Iglesias hits into left field for a base hit. That's going to get Bradley home. So 2 of probably the lightest hitting players, maybe in our entire organization, making or producing some runs right there with Bradley Jr. and Iglesias. Now Iglesias still would steal second. Pedroia to left field, but that is caught by Gardner. Hard hit ball, but Gardner just ranged to his right a little bit and makes the play. So bottom of the fifth now, 0-2 is the count with 2 away to Mike Napoli, and Napoli could not do anything about that slider right there. Dirty pitch from Masahiro Tanaka, and that will get Tanaka out of the inning. So here we go. We're going to freeze frame it a little bit. This is where I want this up and in fastball to be with 0-2 being the counter Francisco Cervelli, and that is not where I wanted. That caught too much of the plate, too much of the heart of the plate at that, and Cervelli just crushes that to deep left field. And I knew right when I threw that, right when he hit it too, I was like, I really screwed up that pitch. That was all on me. Bad accuracy right there, bad control from Lackey, and that was just due to a fault of me not, properly or correctly using the meter or whatever. So anyway, that is a solo home run for Francisco Cervelli. He cuts the lead in half. Now it will be a 3-2 ball game. Cervelli has hit some home runs at Fenway in the past. I know he had one specifically, and I believe it was 2011 or 2012, where he stomped the plate afterwards and made some noise. But either way, top of the sixth still. Now 1-2 is the count to Kelly Johnson, and Johnson goes down on the 90-mile-an-hour heater. So Lackey gets out of the inning. He is through 6, going strong, only allowing 6 hits and 2 earned runs with 5 strikeouts and 1 walk. Always with an impressive strikeout to walk ratio, sort of a trademark of John Lackey these past few years. 0-2 the count to Murphy. He goes down on that beautiful curveball in the dirt. The 6th strikeout for John Lackey, and now that will make it 2 away in the 7th. Now we're going to skip ahead to the top of the 8th here. 1 away, Jacoby Ellsbury up. Ellsbury hits this one into center field. Bradley dives for it and actually traps it. They rule that it did hit the ground though, so it will be a base hit for Jacoby Ellsbury. And that is going to do it for John Lackey. 7 1/3 strong innings, only gives up, or at least is only so far given up 2 runs. He is responsible for Ellsbury at first base. We're going to turn it over to a lefty here, Andrew Miller. Not usually used as a setup man, but we do have a couple lefties coming up in this Yankees lineup, so we're going to turn it to, Beltran not being a lefty, but he does hit better from the left side of the plate, so we turn it to Andrew Miller to try and get Beltran. Jacoby steals second, but Miller comes right back and gets Beltran on the 96-mile-an-hour fastball to go down. So they're going to bring in a pinch hitter now for, I'm actually not sure who's due up, but I think it might have been Eric Chavez. Yeah, it was Eric Chavez. So they're going to bring in A-Rod. We're going to counter with a righty of our own. Ruby De La Rosa will come out of the pen here and try to get the final out of the 8th inning. 0-2 the count to A-Rod, and a beautiful slider right there from Ruby De La Rosa gets the Red Sox out of the inning. We will head to the 9th with a 3-2 lead. We'll turn it over to Koji Uehara. It is Koji time here at Fenway Park. Two away now for Murphy. First pitch to the AB, grounds it to first base, stabbed by Napoli, will tap the bag, and that will retire the side. The Red Sox win it 3-2. They pick up their 43rd win of the season, and that's going to do it for this episode. So let me know what you guys thought of those Giancarlo Stanton sort of trade ideas. I'm not really too sure, because I've never, I've sort of taken this franchise to not necessarily be a rebuilding franchise, but be one where I am going to be looking more towards the future. So I haven't really identified this year as a year that we're really trying to contend. The thing I like about the Stanton trade is it does help us out in the future, and I'm sort of trying to identify places that we need improvement for the future. I would say the infield we're fine, pitching we're fine, maybe the bullpen, I think behind the play we're fine, but I really think it's the outfield. That is where we're going to need to attack some, try to fight some power and try to find something there, because we really don't have anything of substance in our minor league system for those outfield spots. So let me know what you guys think. If you have any of the names that sort of fit the bill, let me know. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. Out. Peace.